So we have some fun stuff on the desk today. I remember I said yesterday, that was like a fast video. I didn't think it, I was going to add it in with this one, but I decided just to keep it short and sweet. So, I haven't made any cards with you guys in a long time since I worked on my Little Mermaid journal. So that has been seriously like the longest time ever. So I wanted to go ahead and work with you guys today. So we're going to start with this piece of coffee stained paper with text on it. Now this is from a firefighter book. I've mentioned I've been working on this one for a while, Careers in Fire Science. This was my dream when I graduated high school, and it just never seemed to happen. I was young and dumb, and you know, things like that just happened. But my mom did fire science for a while there, and so I got a hold of some of her old books after she said it was time for them to go. And of course, I had to put them in my memories. So now we're adding them to all of our wonderful creations. And of course, these flashcards here, she was digging through a box, and yes, they are originally old and dingy. These are not doctored or coffee stained in any way. This is just how she found them. So we're just tearing off all the white space and getting rid of it. Now we're just going to, oh, you know what? I dropped my inker, so I had to get under there and pick it up. And of course we have our oxide ink over here. Let's get to inking. We're just pinching it to make it a little bit more stiff so it's a little bit easier to ink. All right, now I'm just going to stick these down. That's all I'm going to do. And just right there. And you know what? I am going to have it hang off the edge. Because why not, right? And I'm going to move this because I have a feeling, you know, something's going to happen. You know, that's just my luck. All right, let's get to gluing again. Now we get to play with a new one I think I haven't played with yet. Let's put the cap on our glue. I had to dig through my pile on the other table. Oh, I have played with this before a little bit. It works amazingly. So we got heavy gel matte, and I got a big wide brush for this one because we're just going to coat it. But before we coat it, let's put that away. I want to tear off a piece of this. So let's have fun. Just start tearing. I know. I want to save this little deer though, so I had to be a little careful around his poor antlers. And approximately, well, let's try and get his feet in there too, so we can keep it close. Perfect. Oh, I decided it wanted to go down. All right. So we have these two little deers. Now let's tear off the sides. And I'm going to tear off some of this corner a little bit. And just go around the edges and give it a little bit more character. So it looks a little bit more round. I like that bell though. I do. So we're going to leave the bell. Alright, let's go ahead and start painting. I don't know what that is, but I don't want it in my gel medium. Actually, it looks like a part of the firefighter thing from a while back. Oh no, you know what? Maybe it's from my Just Oxide. Alright, let's paint. Paint, guys. A good amount, because we're covering quite a bit of surface. I love how it moved around some of the inky colors. Let's just go ahead and push that down. Yes. Perfect. Now I'm just going to go and paint over everything. We got to paint over all of him. Look how just, oh, it's so cute. I love it. Oh, see how that's coming up? See, we got some of this coming up here. We're going to go ahead and fold, just be gentle folding it back because you know you don't want it to stick to what we have going on. Kind of like right there, it's stuck already, but you can gently peel it back down. Perfect. And I do want that to stay there and hang off the edge. Now remember, we got the little paint splotches up there. This is the back side, so it's okay if you get a little bit of this stuff on the back side of this. I'm actually, you know what? I like the wrinkling. I think it adds to the vintagey feel. All right, now I'm gonna let this sit in the window and dry while I go wash out my brush. Well, it has been a day or two for me since I've been on here. A lot of stuff has been going on for me, prepping for Christmas, etc. So it is finally time to test this little bad boy out. All right, now I'm just gonna line up this, and remember, this is the stencil we ourselves made the other day. If you haven't checked it out, it's in my 12 Days of Craftmas lineup. And we're going to take our Absorbent Ground by Golden. It's an opaque acrylic primer for water media. And I already covered this with Heavy Gel Matte. It is also an acrylic medium, so it preps your surface for watercolor as well. So let's go ahead and try out our stencil. Looks like we need a good amount here. And I'm just going to hold him down because, you know, I haven't really used a stencil like this before. This is a new kind of stencil for me. I'm used to those thin plastic ones. I like the little bit thicker though, because I feel like you can apply a little bit more product, make it a little bit thicker. And I kind of want the edges of the deer to be a little thicker, but like the center of the deer to be thin. So I think that is going to be perfect for this instance. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift my deer. He leaked a little bit, and I think that's because I wasn't holding it down quite as well around the top antler. But for the most part, I mean, look how wonderful he came out. All right, now the wonderful thing about these is because they're cardboard, we don't have to wash them. The primer itself will actually help our little cardboards thicken up some and make it more sturdy. Now if it looks any chunky in any areas, or you know, off balance, like for instance around the back, we should probably smooth this out so when we use it next time it'll be nice and flat and won't have all of those imperfections. So I'm just going to smooth it out. Now I obviously don't want to lay this flat to dry, so I'm just going to lean it up against my tripod. This way it'll be able to dry a little bit better without adhering to anything. So he's just kind of leaning there, if you can see him. We have to let this guy dry, and it's very cloudy outside, so my window is cold today instead of nice and toasty. I wish I would have finished it the other day because the window was the perfect temperature, but that's okay. I'm just gonna have to set this aside and hope that it's dry in time. Hey guys, despite as much as I wanted to film this at home, disappointingly I had to film this one on the go, which is perfectly fine. It was almost finished by the time we were done anyway. So here's our lovely. And this is after we got done using our stencil that we designed. If you have not seen that video, please check it out. And now what we are going to do is we are just going to decorate our deer. And I just want, oh wow, our colors are all messed up. So we're gonna, oh wow, we didn't even need very much. I'm gonna go ahead and just have some fun with it. Nothing crazy. And you have to remember, we prepped this entire medium for these colors, so you can go to town and have as much fun with it as you want, especially if this is your first time with these paints. We prepped this with the gloss, and we prepped the white obviously is the gesso. And you know what? I'm just gonna make our entire deer. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of brown. Well, I do have the distressor. Yeah, I'll finish painting this. And it's soaking up the paint quite fast, so probably won't take too long to dry before we can go ahead and hit it with the distresser. So the way I did this side is much darker than this side. So I think I want to follow suit and finish with the darker on down along this side of the deer. Kind of give a little bit of consistency. Don't judge. Yes, I'm using wrapping paper as my background. It is all I had at the time. I forgot my mat at home. Terrible me. Okay. So our reindeer is now dry enough to play with some distressed ink. So let's see what we can come up with. Now I'm going to try and keep it really light because we do have a lot of texturing here. So I'm going to keep it light and try and pick up on some of that texturing. And just make our deer, our doe, our deer, our maybe female, maybe male deer. We're just not sure. Actually, it's got antlers, so I guess we're sure. Never mind. And just go in and buff out all the texture. I want to see the texture on this lovely deer. And we're not pushing very hard. We're mostly letting the rubbing of our little foam piece here catch all the raised edges. And I'm really liking how it really is adding that extra beautiful texture. Of course, you can see these stairs and all of the wonderful texture from the tissue paper that we hand printed in the back. So this piece is classically made from almost everything we did this time around for this project. So go ahead and take your string and wrap it around your hand as many times as you wish. And then we will hold it in place, go over, and we're just going to drop our string back through like this. And do that a couple of times and it'll tie it perfectly into place. And now I'm going to move out all of my little loopies. Just make them all crazy. And I'm gonna go ahead and get some glue here. And I want it to be right on the deer's chest. Just like this. Perfect. I think that is really, really cute. Okay, so I have these stickers. I also felt like he needed a 'Tis the Season, because I really, really liked this 'Tis the Season one. And we're gonna put it right there. And I decided with the way I'm gonna set this deer, I'm gonna go ahead and take this button looking thing here, and I'm gonna need some glue for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it up. Now I'm gonna need some here in there for the simple reason of this is not going to be, it's literally gonna sit like a button over that bow, and I want something to kind of reinforce the sides a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and push on that some to get the glue from behind it to bleed up and touch it. So I'm kind of putting a good amount of weight on it. And I love it. I think he's too cute. And we now have a wonderful little saying to go right here. I feel like it's way too big. I like it so much though. Oh, perfect. We're just gonna, I kind of want to have it just, oh, you know what? Let's leave this like this. And we can glue this on the back as kind of like a title for when we flip over our card. I like that, but I do feel like it needs something here. So I'm going to leave it this way because I don't want the tackiness from that button to stick to anything. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead just like that. Perfect. Now you have it above your little whatever you want to write. We got our beautiful deer with his beautiful bow. And you know what? I am so happy with it. I ain't going to do anything else with it. I honestly feel like he's done. Am I sure about this? No. So you know what? What if we put... Yeah. I'm having some curiosities here. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go home and do it. December. Right there. Since you know it is December, and good old St. Nicholas. Right about that. For the St. Nick seal of approval. There. Perfect. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed this card. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video because that one is just gonna be a cutie. And of course, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas Eve, and I'll see you all later.